At Diepsloot Combined School, most of these students will celebrate graduation day. But few of these low-income high schoolers will be able to turn their degree into a decent job. They're big on talent and potential, but they live in the shadow of Johannesburg's affluent suburbs, where the school principal says it's hard to dream of becoming a doctor or lawyer when her school, made of shacks, trailers, and storage containers, can barely teach them the skills for an office job.
When this school is situated in the heart of an informal settlement, what we call a squatter camp, and most of the houses are shacks, and they're not even the size of a normal room. 80 to 90% of the parents here are unemployed and they don't have any form of income. So you can imagine that the children coming from this poverty-stricken background, still battling with feeding and clothing themselves, how could they ever access things like computers?
But a pilot program in South Africa is opening up access to students at Diepsloot. One of the world's largest computer chip makers, California-based AMD, is providing these students with 40 little orange and gray boxes called PICs, Personal Internet Communicators. They're designed to provide reliable internet connections and bare-bones computing like email and text editing at a low price. Each PIC costs under $200. These PICs were part of a sponsorship program for the school's renovated Internet Computer Lab. The PICs are connected to computer monitors, keyboards, as well as a mainframe server that's under lock and key. The PICs replace traditional computer processing units, CPUs, that couldn't handle Diepsloot's rough environment.
We had a problem of maintaining our computers, especially our CPUs.
Right.
Every time they were getting broken, or this part is off or that part is off. And of course, children being children, some could get into fiddling with them or breaking them themselves.
Now, while it's still necessary to call the technicians every once in a while, the owners say that the main component, the PIC, is virtually problem-free. Well, why is that? Well, inside, the hard drive is enclosed in shock-resistant material, and manufacturers say the exterior, well, it's virtually indestructible. The reliability of these PICs is a small but significant bit of stability in these students' lives. Students like 19-year-old Bulelani Sobekwa. His story is one common to this area. Both parents were dead by his 16th birthday. One sister dropped out of school to have a baby. His other sister digs ditches.
Oh, it's one room place. We have divided it with this room divide. This is my bed. Yes. Then this is my kitchen.
The kitchen, right?
Yes.
Right. Bulelani, his sisters, and his two nieces all live together in a one-room home with barely enough food to last weekend to weekend. And that's when Bulelani brings home tips from working in a restaurant. Bulelani is in his last year of high school. His computer teacher says she was worried that he'd drop out and work full-time. She says access to the internet rekindled Bulelani's desire to learn.
For the past 2 years, he wasn't like interested in his schoolwork or anything, but ever since, because we've got extra classes, ever since sitting down with him and working, seeing that he is able to, then I think that has boosted his self-esteem, because he's able to now do things for himself.
Things like come up with a computer business plan to open his own restaurant.
You can ask for sponsors, then advertising your product through the internet. And then obviously the internet is abroad the world. That's what will make my business popular. There's no need like to drop out, to be a dropout. A lot of jobs now, they want people who have got computer skills.
Bulelani may be a slow typer, but he's come a long way in just 2 years. Had you ever worked on a computer before?
No.
Had you ever gone on the internet before?
No.
Had you ever seen a computer firsthand before?
Yes, I've seen it, but I didn't work on it.
Getting half the world's people connected to the internet by the year 2015, that's the goal of PIC maker AMD. The company's CEO says the key to connecting people is to cater to the world's biggest underserved market, low-income consumers, both present and future.
For a person that grew up as a young kid in Mexico shining shoes on the street, it becomes pretty personal. With today's technology, something like this device in a child's classroom or home, imagine what it will do. To me, it's fascinating to think of the possibilities. You know, there could be some place in Mexico, Brazil, or India, or Africa. There may be the next Bill Gates sitting there somewhere, but we never know.
Teachers at Diepsloot Combined Schools say they're aiming for more realistic goals. Today's lesson, search online for clip art to make a flyer selling electronics. For these students, there will be many obstacles ahead.
Others look at their background and say, but even if I wanted to be a pilot, who's going to pay my fees to do that? So they will be provided with computer skills that they will be able, for instance, while maybe they're still looking for financial support to go to further their studies, they'll be able to work as clerks.
In your school, you have access to these computers.
Yeah.
Have these computers kind of opened up a whole different world for you than perhaps the world that you know here?
Yes. Like children of the club, we are losing hope. We're saying, okay, because we are staying in the squatter camp, we won't use these computers. This is the first school, like in the farm school, to have this computer access. And then it gives others encouragement.
These PICs won't end the cycle of poverty in this Johannesburg suburb, but Bulelani credits his computer class for inspiring him to break the cycle for him and his family.
But I'll make it. I'll try.
Alfonso Van Marsh, CNN, Diepsloot, South Africa.